Okay, fine, fine, fine. Hi, Shika, how are you?
Fine, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So, hello, Kavya.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi. Uh, Kavya, this is demo session for you, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Fine, fine, fine. Okay. Mm, for Anusha and Shikha, this is first session, fine. So, anyways, I'll be covering the basics of SAP, so accordingly, we'll be able to relate. Fine. Okay. So before starting, Kavya, if you could brief about yourself, like your current profile, educational background, and if you have any basic knowledge on SAP, that would help me to understand. Hello, Kavya. Kavya, am I audible? Hello, hello, Kavya. Kavya, are you there? Okay. Let's wait for 2 minutes. I think she's going to join back. Fine, then I'll start.
Okay, ma'am.
Fine. Fine, we can start the session. Let's see if meanwhile she joins.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, fine. See, I have already started the recording. Fine. So once we end the call, like after the class, automatically this recording will be appeared in your in this group, fine, in this Skype group only, and you can download. Fine. So notes also I'll be sharing in this group. So no need to leave this group. Fine, you can create one Skype account and you can add yourself in this group. Fine, then it will be easy. Fine.
Okay, ma'am.
Fine. So I'll be starting from your module one, basics. Then slowly I'll be going into the depth. Fine, like module two, then the other some modules. Fine. So first 2 days or 2.5 days you can consider for theory. Then we'll start with your configuration. Fine. Okay. See, this is the full form we have for SAP system application and product. So system in the sense where you are going to use this application. So it can be your desktop or it can be your laptop, right? So application in the sense SAP itself, okay? And product in the sense whatever you are going to produce in this application, right? So what we are producing, only data. Only data we are producing. So you can consider it can be of any types of data, either if it is a technical data or it can be the non-technical data. Fine. Technical data in the sense you can consider all the programming, coding, testing, form, reports, any kind of customization. Fine. That you can consider for your technical data. Non-technical in the sense any kind of operational data. Okay. Operational in the sense it can be the company sales data, procurement data, uh, distribution data, delivery data, fine, HR data, finance, it can be of anything, right? So any types of data we can process in this application. Now, this application, this is a product of SAP Labs company. Company name is SAP Labs, and they are fourth largest organization globally and headquartered in Germany, right? So, if you go with the history of this application, 1972, this application was founded by five ex-engineers from IBM company, right? And they have started using this application from 1973. Then, when this application was launched, suppose now how we are using this application, we did not have this much of features. Okay, no, we did not have this much of features. If this application was not so upgraded, uh, we have some restricted access also earlier, right? A long back, I'm talking about 1973. So that time, suppose now from 1993, what we are using that is R3 architecture. Okay, R3 architecture in the sense how this application you are going to use, how it will produce the data, right? So as of now, R3 architecture means we have three-tier architecture. That is the current one. Previously, when it launched in the year of 1973, we had only one-tier architecture, right? Then it got upgraded and we had two-tier architecture, and then we are using three, right? So this is nothing else but your application, how it is working. Suppose you are producing data or you are processing data, how this is going to produce or process that, right? So previously we had only application tier, right? When it launched, it was only application tier. So presentation tier and database tier were merged with the application tier, right? The name was only application tier. Next, 1988, okay, it became R2. So that time we had application tier and database tier, fine. And from 1993, what we are using, we have presentation tier, application tier, and database tier. Okay. Now here R in the sense real time. Okay. Real time in the sense this application, what you are going to use, this is always live in the sense 24/7 you will be able to use this application, right? Anytime you can log in, anytime you can log off. Even if you need any kind of support or assistance, suppose your application is down, it's not working, then also it will be resolved within few minutes, right? So 24/7 you can expect that support team is also available, right? So that is why this application we are calling it as real. And what we are processing in this application, that is nothing but of real data. Okay. Real data in the sense, suppose the company, whatever the data they are using, right? That only you have to process in this application, which is completely real. That stands for R. And 3 stands for we have 3-tier architecture. Like we have presentation tier, you can see here I have mentioned. Okay. We have presentation tier, application tier, and database tier. So presentation tier in the sense, this is entirely about the planning regarding how you are going to use this application, right? In the sense, suppose one company is completely into core process, right? Suppose this company is going to use SAP for their functions. Okay. So suppose they are having IT department, they have HR, they have finance, right? So this is possible for a company that uh, it will move entirely into the SAP. Okay? In the sense, IT, say IT, finance, and HR all will be using this application SAP. So for that, you need the data for these departments to be available in SAP. Then only SAP can take the control. Okay. Otherwise, it is also possible that the company can use this application for any standalone department. Right. Suppose it will not move entirely into SAP. Suppose only for HR they are going to use SAP. Both the scenario is possible, right? That the company can move itself or specific some department will move. Anything is possible, right? So in that case, other departments will be taking care of the processes like how we have in core, the general process, and the department the company is using in SAP, that will be completely into SAP, right? So both the situation can be possible. Now, suppose if any company wants to use SAP for any of its department, or suppose entirely for the entire organization, then it should be planning that how they want to go for it. Fine, suppose which date they will launch this application, from when they will be starting to use this application, what are the data should be available, right, to use the application for all the departments. Okay. how many consultants will be working, how many consultants they require to process this kind of data, right? What will be the cost? How many systems required? Uh, how many duration? Fine. What will be the duration for this entire process? So each and everything will be discussed. Now, for discussion also, here we have two situations. See, if any company, suppose the company itself wants to launch SAP for its own purpose, fine. And suppose the company is having, company is having its own SAP team. Having in the sense, suppose they are going to hire some SAP consultant, so they will be directly working in their organization. Fine. So that means it is only directly for the client. There is nothing to do with the vendor. Fine. But suppose if one company decides that I'm going to launch SAP, but I'm not going to hire SAP consultant, I'll go for some vendors who are already in the market, who are already having some SAP consultants. Fine. So they will reach out to some vendor among these vendors. Now, any of these vendor will receive the complete process, and the SAP consultant for this particular vendor company will process the data for the client. Okay. So the discussion will happen either between the client and vendor team, or if it is only client, then this company is SAP team and business team. Right? So both the way it is possible. Now, if you want to know few examples of vendor companies like how we have in the market your Capgemini, okay, Capgemini, Wipro, TCS, mm, IBM little bit, Accenture, right? Cognizant, Infosys, these are all vendor companies. Fine. Client, if you will ask, yes, we have the SAP Labs itself, we have Amazon, PwC, EY, right? Nowadays, a lot of banking, small, small level banking companies are also using SAP, fine. So you can consider this kind of companies as client itself, okay? Now, in this, if you consider PwC, they are having their own SAP team, but still they go for the vendors. Like if they have to launch anything newly, they go for the vendors. Fine. But if they have to modify something for the existing ones, they are having their in-house SAP team. Fine. So client and vendor, the discussion will have either between client and vendor, or if it is only client, then companies SAP team and the business team. Fine. That is your presentation tire. It is, sorry, entirely about the planning. Fine. Next, application tire. The application tire means now the planning is done, and the consultants also aware that what kind of data they have to process. Now, accordingly, they will be processing their data. If it is finance consultant, they will process finance data. If it is HR consultant, they will process HR data. So the consultants are going to use the application for their own purpose. Right? Last will be your database tier. That means entirely all the data are processed. Now, whenever you will be processing the data, this is not only for the HR, okay? This is entirely for SAP modules, all SAP modules, okay? So whenever we process any data, we have to save. Until unless you will not hitting on save, this data will not be stored in your SAP application. So whatever you will process, you have to save. Now, once you will save, your data will be stored in some place, okay? That is called as database tag. Okay? Now, where it is getting stored, see, in SAP, this data will be stored in tables, right? Like we have different storages like tables, forms, reports, fine. So functional data will be always stored in tables. You can view that like when you will save, you will get the notification that data is saved, fine. So if you check your database tire, you will be able to see where your data is stored, right? We have a specific process to view the data, fine. Whatever is getting stored in your database tire. So SAP will always follow this entire architecture whenever any data will be processed. So presentation tier, application tier, and database tier. Currently, we have these three tiers or three layers, so we call this application as R3 architecture. Fine. For interview, this is the most important and first question you can consider. Direct question you will be getting. What do you understand by R3 architecture? Right. So these three tiers you have to mention. One line if you are describing, that is enough. Okay. Now, if you consider, I have mentioned here a few features you can consider as advantages also, fine, of using SAP. Like market, if you consider, we have other applications also, like we have Google ADP, Workday, Oracle. So why SAP is taking over the market? Okay, certain reasons we have that I have mentioned here. So first of all, if you consider the departments in SAP, departments are called as modules, right? In SAP, the departments are called as modules, and this application is divided into modules. Like this application is having some standard modules. Only that data we can process. That is also huge because every year you can consider 2 to 3 modules are getting introduced in SAP. Fine. So we have a huge list of SAP modules. So the application is divided into departments. So it depends on the consultant which department they are working. So accordingly, they can go to their respective modules and they can process the data. Right. Now, as the application is a single application where you will be getting all the departments together. First of all, this is a global application. So how you can view the application in India, the same will be available in USA, same in UK, same in Germany, everywhere it is same. Okay. This application is a globally standard application. Even how you are processing the data, whatever the functional or technical module you consider, how you are processing the data in this particular application, that process is also standard, fine. So it is not that India some different way you are going to process the data. Again, in some other location or other country, you will be processing the data in different way. No, okay. The process is same. Standard rules we have, standard formats we have. So this is for the global. Okay. So as this is one application for all the departments, so all the departments will be linked with each other and they will share some common information. Okay? Common information in the sense, just an example I'm giving you. Suppose you consider the company is having HR department and finance department. Okay? So finance team, they are taking care of all financial data of the organization, including the loans, contribution or interest rates, any kind of audit, okay, compensation, or any kind of balance sheet, journal ledger, these things. Fine. And if you consider HR, we are having basically the company data, then employee data, and which will include time and payroll data. Fine. So Integrated in the sense, suppose if you consider the finance team, suppose mm, consider loans. The company is providing some types of loans to its employees. Fine. So these loan types you have to maintain, as in if you join as SAP HR functional consultant, you will be maintaining what are the loan types are available. Fine. Suppose house renovation loan, festival loan, salary advance, this way. Fine. Now, how this loan will be applicable on the employees? Okay. That applicability will be taken care by the finance team. Fine. So, finance team will uh, maintain all the applicability of these loans. Fine. All the applicabilities in the sense, suppose if any age-wise, if any restriction the company is having, fine. That the age should be this one to get this particular loan, or suppose if any contribution rate is there or interest rate is there. So everything will be taken. What will be the loan cycle, payment cycle, everything. So they will be taking care of this part, right? Now to maintain these details, they should know what are the types of loans are available. So whenever you will be defining these loan types, accordingly, this finance consultant can come to the HR module and they can view what are the types of loans are available. Fine. Then accordingly, they are going to maintain the applicability of these loans. Okay. So these finance consultants are coming to the HCM department or HCM module to view the data, and again they are going back to their module to fill the rest of details. Right? This is called the integration. Okay. Integration is available between all the modules in SAP, whether you consider technical or functional. Right? Technical, how it is, suppose the application what you are using, in that you are processing functional data. Okay. Now in backend, all the programs are continuously running by the technical consultant so that you can use the application for your purpose. Right. So we are dependent on the technical modules as well. Okay. So technical integration also we have. Then suppose if you consider the customization. Suppose Uh, once you will start using the application, you will see customization options are available. Fine. So we have the option for color, we have option for theme, we have option for font. Okay. So whenever you will try to change, the change will be applicable. Okay. This is possible because of the backend programming. So technical consultant will ensure, right, that you can use this application, you can process the functional data. Okay. So this is called the integration, but yes, we have certain restriction in the sense, suppose this finance team is visiting the HCM module, so they cannot modify or they cannot make any changes. Right? So that modification is not allowed, but yes, they can only view, they can download, right? If they have to. Otherwise, for their own module, they will have the access to modify as well. Right? So this is called the integration part. Okay. So integrated or modular structured, these are the major benefits of using SAP. Right? Other than these also, as I said, this is a global application. So the processes are same how you're going to process the data. So this, as this application is global, so we have these two options, okay? Multilingual and multi-currency, because there are a lot of the countries who still prefer their own language. If you consider the headquartered location also, it is same. The Germany, they are using German language for this application, right? So process or rules will be standard, but we can change the language according to the country, right? So As they are able to change the language, that is why this is the preferable one for them, the preferable application. Fine. The same goes for the currency. So whether you process the data for India or USA or Singapore, whatever it is, fine, the currency you have to change according to your country. Suppose you are working for Middle East, suppose UAE. So accordingly, you have to take UAE currency. But how you are going to process that data, there will be no change. Right? So these two are also you can consider as uh, major benefits we have using SAP because uh, language and currency. Okay. So accordingly, suppose if any country is having their own language, so then in that case it will be the most preferred one. Fine. Now, apart from these, you can consider the security or data protection also as a benefit or feature. Right. So security in the sense how the data will be protected. Fine. Suppose you have processed some data, you have saved it. Fine. How it will be secured or you can say protected because uh, as this application is open for all, in that case, anybody can see the data. Fine. So that is why one option is added here in SAP that is called client. Fine. So client in the sense, whatever the company we have who are going to use SAP or who are already using SAP, each and everyone is having unique client ID. So it is of some three-digit numbers, right? So these numbers you have to assign according to uh, your client, fine? Then you can process the data for them. Again, you have to log off. Again, suppose you have to process data for different clients. So you can use their client ID, log in, do the work, and log off. Fine. This is how we mm, can protect the data. So one company cannot give the data of other company. That is how we are protected. Right? So these you can consider as features or the benefits also using SAP. Right? Till here, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next, I'll be moving to the modules. Right?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Or yes, yes, tell me.
Security in the sense means only staff consultant has the details, right? To log in and
Yes,
log
yes,
off.
yes. Right, right.
Oh, okay, ma'am.
Like suppose there are a lot of SAP consultants, right?
Yes.
Suppose Suppose you have joined Capgemini. Suppose, okay. So Capgemini is having two, three clients. Okay. So when they are going to hire you, you will be working for all these clients. Suppose you are working for EY, Ernst and Young. Suppose you are working for PwC, and you are working for Amazon. Fine. So three clients you are going to process the data. So you will have your own credential. For this application, suppose when you will be processing the data for PwC, you will not have any separate login credential. Your login credential will be same user ID and password. Right? So in that case, how the data will be protected? In the sense, suppose ENY should not view the data of PwC, PwC should not view the data of Amazon, Amazon should not see the data for others. Okay, so how that
Okay.
will be possible, right? So that is using the client ID. So when you will be putting your ID and password, so you will be, when you will work for PwC, you will be putting PwC client ID, do the work for them, log off. Okay. Again, you will change the client ID to the Amazon one. Then you will use your user ID and password, log in, do the work for Amazon, log out. So this is how we work, right? So ID and password will remain same. Client ID will change. That will protect their data, right?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Nowadays, one more security option is added. This is very new. You can consider from 2025 this is happening. That is, suppose when you will be processing the data, that time you will understand it in a better way. We have some standard comments, fine. To process the data, we have some SAP standard list of comments, which will take you to the respective window, right? Suppose you want to define how many hours the company is working per day. For that, we have a specific comment. We use that. It will take you to the working hours window where you can define and come back, right? Again, suppose you want to create the holiday list for this particular company. We have different codes. So we can use that particular code. It will take you to the holiday window. There you can define and come back. So not for every data or every activity we have, for few things we have this kind of comments. So nowadays, who are going to use these comments, there also we have some restriction in the sense authorization check, right? So when you will be joining now, lot of the companies are following because suppose for if you consider one team as in SAP consultant, suppose we have a team of 30 members for SAP HCM consultant for one organization. Now suppose sometimes everyone uh, cannot do the same process at one time, right? Suppose one consultant is already doing that holiday list configuration, right? Now suppose another consultant start doing it. So what will happen? They will clash. So it is possible that multiple calendar will be created or multiple holiday list will be created, or suppose the other one cannot save the data. Now, to resolve this kind of issues, authorization checks are given, right? So when you have to use any particular comment, you have to apply for it, right? So you have to take a screenshot that you don't have any access for that. And this mail you have to share to your reporting manager. Reporting manager will forward this particular concerned technical team, authorization team, they will give you the access, right? Once your process is done, you are already out of this configuration, your access will be gone, right? Again, suppose the other person can ask for that access and access will be given. So for few comments, this is happening because otherwise sometimes we get the multiple data, duplicate data, right? So that is why to avoid these things, authorization checks are introduced. Not so popular, only for few companies it has started. Fine. So you might face it if you get job by the second half of the year. Right. So that also protecting the data. Okay. Fine. Now modules, coming to the modules, see, uh, two categories of modules we have, technical, non-technical. Fine. Non-technicals are the functional. So functional modules, if you consider, it is entirely about the process-oriented data. Okay. And technical data, if you consider, we have coding or programming, testing is also a part of your technical administration. That is also part of your technical. Any kind of customization is also like your login credentials, your customization of your SAP application. So these are also part of your technical. Right? Now, Few popular module we have in India which are for technical. So SAP ABAP, this is the, you can consider they are the core programmers, right? Core programmers in the sense they are basically responsible for the entire application programming. So you are able to use this application for your purpose. You are able to process your data for your purpose. That is only because of this SAP ABAP team. They are the core programmers for the whole application, right? They will ensure the backend programming so that you can process any functional data. Next, important technical module we have basis. SAP Basis Consultant. From this team, you are going to get your login credential. Not in this institute. Is here you will be getting from the institute. I'm talking about the live. So basis team will give you the login credential, right? Also your client IDs, and suppose if you face any difficulties or error in customization of your application. Suppose you want to change the color, you want to change the font size or font style, that is not working. So that programming they are responsible for, SAP based system, right? So they will be resolving accordingly, you will be able to use. So they are the core technical module you can consider in SAP, ABAP and basis. Rest apart what we have, these are specific, like how we have in .NET, Java, that way. Okay. So NetWeaver, HANA, Xi, Ariba, these are the popular technical modules we have. Consultants are called as SAP technical consultant. Right? And also SAP tester. They are also technical. Right? Tester in the sense what is their job. Suppose uh, this is for all the modules. Whenever we complete our process, like processing of data in this application, then all the data will be tested by the SAP testers to identify if any error is there or any discrepancies are there, right? Or it is good to go. So these uh, testing will be done by the SAP testers, right? So they are responsible for the testing of your data. Now, functionally, if you consider, yes, those who are taking care of functional modules are known as functional consultants. Now we have wide ranges of functional modules, right? And still so many are getting increased. Like suppose every year 4 or 5 modules are included in SAP. Like in technical also now we have SAP Azure, SAP Cloud, right? In technical. Functional also we have lot of modules now. Like these are the popular ones. Like we have human capital management, which is same as your SAP HR. Then we have financial accounting and controlling, right? Sales and distribution, material management. This is production planning, plant maintenance, quality management, okay? Customer relation management, supply chain management, project system, and this is SAP Concur itself. Apart from these, also we have your mm, SAP security, then warehouse management, extended warehouse management, right? So a lot of functional modules are also there. Okay? Now, in this, if you consider HCM, we are taking care of. This is just a brief about the functional modules, and these are the popular ones. Like popular ones are your HCM, FICO, SDMM, Concur, and PPPM and QM. Okay. So HCM, we are taking care of company data, including the time data, payroll data, employee data. Okay. Financial accounting and controlling, they are taking care of financial data of the organization, which will include the balance sheet, journal, ledger, compensation, uh, any kind of tax, loans, everything, all the financial part. SD, they are taking care of any data regarding the logistics, sales, distribution, or delivery. Fine. So, shipping, then suppose delivery details, customer invoices, billing process. Okay. So, all these data will be taken care by this SD. Fine. MM is entirely about the procurement, raw materials. So raw material storage, raw materials purchasal, how that raw materials will be used. Fine, that is your material management. PP is production planning. So production planning and plant maintenance. These two functional consultant, mm, you will be meeting in the factory unit of the organization. Fine. Factory unit in the sense, suppose if any company is having any plant or manufacturing unit, then the production process for production part, whatever the data is required, that will be taken care by this PP functional consultant. And for that particular plant or manufacturing unit or factory, the maintenance data will be taken care by this PM functional consultant. Fine. QM is quality. See, quality is nothing but, as I said, that this application is a standard application, a global application. So we have standard uh, rules that how you have to use this application, how you have to process the data, right? So these are called as quality. So this quality will be ensured by the quality management functional consultant that when processing the data, we are taking care of this. Fine. Apart from this, the popular one is SAP Concur. So Concur is entirely about your travel expenses and travel management. Definitely, suppose it should be the company one. Suppose sometimes the employees will go for the client visit or their on-site locations, or suppose due to some project requirement they are sitting in some different location. Fine. So whatever the travel information along with the uh, invoices, like the costings, okay, that will be taken care. That data will be taken care by this SAP Concur. Fine. So still so many functional modules we have, but these are the popular ones. Fine. Functional consultant, we have two roles, two designation you will be having. One is functional consultant, another is end user. Fine. These two designation you will be having. See, designation wise, it can be consultant, then senior consultant, then lead position you can go to, then manager, fine. Then uh, solution architect, that way you will go. Fine. A regional head, that way. But role wise, if you go, one role we have for consultant, another role we have for the end user. Right? So what we are going to learn, that is your consultant level. Fine. Consultant level in the sense you are going to make this application, SAP application, ready for the organization. So you are going to process all the data so that company can use this application. Fine. That is consultant level. End user level, this is completely about the each and every employee details. Fine. So when this company will start using this application, so when these employees will join in this organization or whatever the data will have for the employees, like suppose employees' personal details, their address details, education details, find their family details. So only employee data will be taken care by this end user team. This is sorry, not only for the HCM, this is for all the functional module we have. FICO module, we have the end users. So they are taking care of these employees' financial transactional data. Fine. HCM, we have the end users. So they are taking care of the employee general information in SAP. Okay. So every module we have. Okay. So end user and functional, these two roles we have. For end user level, we don't have any global certification. We don't have any standard global certification, but yes, institute can provide. Fine. So if you are later part, not now, once you will have some work experience, suppose 2 3 years. If you want to appear for a global certification, then this will be your consultant level only. Fine. So all these modules, whatever we have in HCM, accordingly this question you will be getting. So for only consultant level, we have the global certification. Right? So this is entirely about the modules and roles what we have. Okay. So yes, it will be either SAP. If you consider HCM, then either it will be SAP HR consultant or SAP HCM consultant at the initial level. Then you can be the senior consultant, you can be the lead, okay, or manager position we have, project head we have, solution architect we have. Lot of the designations are available according to your age and experience. Okay. Till here, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Hmm, fine. Next, what I'll be moving into, that is, suppose when you will be joining the organization, uh, directly you will not be working, right? Directly in the sense, suppose now how you are working, the process will not be the same. It depends on the projects. Like we work on some project in the sense, suppose one company wants to launch SAP, fine. Then only we get the requirement, accordingly you have to work on it. So definitely that will be considered as a project and will have certain duration for that. So within that we have to complete the entire process, right? So what kind of projects you are going to work on? So I'm going to explain, fine? The types of projects. Okay. Mm, and also when you will be working on those projects, standard process you have to follow, right? That how you will be working. Suppose daily basis, how you'll be getting the requirement, how you will be using the application, and how you are going to process the data, and how that data will be used by the organization. So we have certain process for it, right? So that also it will include some methodologies we have. These are also important for the interview. And also, suppose this application I was saying 24/7, you are going to use this application. Fine, this will be always available. So for that also, we have some reason that why this is available for 24/7. Fine. So that topic is also important for interview. So that I'm not starting today. Hmm, till here, I'm going to share few documents. Fine, like the basic part, what are the modules, what are the roles of the consultant, fine. Go through these documents and the recording. No need to leave the group, okay? You can create one account and you can add yourself in this group, so that daily basis directly you can join. Mm. Go through the notes and recording. Tomorrow, let me know how is it. Then I will move forward with your projects and landscape. Fine.
Okay, ma'am.
Fine. See, I will end the call here automatically within 2 minutes. The recording will be available in the chat. Okay, here only. Suppose this is your group. Here only in chat it will appear. Okay. So just download it. Notes also you can download. Fine. So tomorrow same time we'll connect. Fine, 7.
Okay, ma'am.
Fine. Fine. Then go through everything and the server access you will be receiving mostly by day after tomorrow. Fine. So you can expect it on Friday. Fine. Fine. Okay, then I'll bind up for the day. So tomorrow we'll continue. Go through the recordings, notes, let me know how is it. Then I'll forward. Fine. Move forward.
Okay, ma'am.
Fine. Okay, then take care. Good night.
Good night, ma'am.
Good night. Good night. Yeah. Take care.